South Africa has seen 138 days without rolling blackouts. The Energy and Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa says, although this is commendable, there's a rising electricity affordability crisis which is undermining efforts towards energy security.
Even in those areas where they don't experience load reduction, electricity is just unaffordable. It's gone through the roof. Over 400% increase in the past 10 years. It's unsustainable. That situation is untenable. We have to arrest that situation. And that's why I kept on saying that we will be starting conversations, the process of electricity pricing policy, because the tariff is a function of the policy. So NERSA works within the parameters of what is existing policy. So your problem, the issue can be NERSA. NERSA is discharging what the policy says. We must resolve the policy question.
He says consultations have started with the South African Local Government Association, SALGA, as part of the broader work to formulate an effective electricity pricing policy. This is to balance affordability and the cost of reflective pricing.
This electricity pricing policy, what it must do, it must agitate communities to come on board so that they are able to share their lived experiences. So I don't expect someone from my rural village in Ramokgopa, someone from an informal settlement in Kayamnandi to make a 30-page submission on what this is. But they must be listened to. And we are going to do that so that we are giving credibility to this process.
Despite progress made in recent months to avert rolling blackouts, Ramokgopa has warned that the country is still not out of the woods. But he has commended various Eskom power stations for keeping the lights on, with about 2,500 megawatts expected to be added to the grid by the end of August.
Today he lifted up Tutuka, Kendall as well as Creel. And I think when you really look at those stations in the last 6 months, they've really improved their performance. Having said that, when you really look at the overall fleet, in terms of the highest availability, starting from last year's recovery, you still have Kusile, and since the recovery of those stacks, we are seeing phenomenal performance.
Infrastructure vandalism, illegal connections and prepaid meter rollout remain some of the challenges. The Deputy Electricity Minister Samantha Graham Maree says they continue to work with Eskom and municipalities to expedite the rollout of prepaid electricity meters.
At this stage, Eskom had about 6.9 million meters that they needed to pre-code. The rollover for these meters is on the 24th of November this year. If those meters have not been pre-coded, they will not be able to operate. Eskom have done 6.9 million, 6.6 of the 6.9 million, so they've got about 300,000 left to pre-code. And the municipalities had 4 million meters to do. They've got about 1 million left. What needs to happen now is that users of the prepaid meters need to go and buy their prepaid electricity, and they will be provided with a code, a series of digits that they can then input into their meters, and that will allow those meters to roll over into the new cycle.
The country is still on target with its Just Energy Transition Investment Plan 2023 to 2027, a roadmap towards green energy, inclusive economic growth and employment. The minister is worried about the rising electricity affordability crisis, which he says continues to undermine electricity access, further increasing the cost of living for households. He's pinned his hopes on the electricity pricing policy, with a process and timeframes expected to be outlined in the near future. Katlego, Legodi, SABC News in Pretoria.